Hey gamers, this is Catnip. I just want to give you guys a real quick video here. Maybe just go over, the goods, the bads, the things I'd like to see, things we didn't see, and just kind of give you an overall idea of how I felt about the game. I know everyone's opinions differ, and that's totally cool. But I know I put about 16 and a half hours in this weekend, and ended up with fairly decent gear. You know, this is my baby. Kind of sad to see her go. But I will tell you guys, if you've watched my Dark Zone videos, any of them, this gun is freaking hard to control. The recoil on it is something spectacular. Like, look, I mean, you have to hold the trigger halfway down just to get it to stabilize. I mean, it's pretty hardcore, and that's with full mods on it. Without it, it's ridiculous. But it will mow people down. But that's also just one of the good things I liked about it. All the mods, each different one. And from what I understand, there's a total of 5 mods that can be put on a weapon. I don't believe there's 6. I never seen a weapon with one, but I know a lot of the game was cut off from us this weekend. We didn't get a whole lot to do. We got this mission right here at the field hospital, and that was really about it for PvE. Besides going around these different areas. I know a lot of players and a lot of my friends, including myself, spend a lot of time in the dark zone. And one of my favorite tactics that we used, we would set up at the extraction points and all of us be in a different location. And then when all 4 guys went in, we would all launch grenades on the extraction and take them out and take their stuff. And that's such a dirty tactic, I know. I'm sorry, I trolled. But man, it was effective, and it is PvP, so it was enjoyable. And those guys got us back too, so it's not like we didn't get pounded either. But it was good fun, and that's one of the major things I liked about this game was the PvP. It seems like it's going to be very, very hard to be OP. Maybe later down the road, you start getting that power gap increasing. I can see that a little bit. Somebody getting a little too effective. But man, you got friends, and that's a must in the dark zone, by the way. If you're gonna go solo, you're just asking to get pounded. You really, really are. You're gonna find your good guys in there, but I'll tell you what, man. Everyone's on edge. When another group sees another group, man, they're just standing there. It's like a Mexican standoff. They are waiting for for someone to do something. And it was a lot of fun. It really was. PvP was my favorite part of this weekend. I'm not that good at it, to be honest. I mean, if you watch my other videos in the Dark Zone, you obviously know that. But man, it was still fun. It really, really was. One of the pluses, I think, like I said, was the gunplay. How smooth everything is, transitioning. And then the double tap for the pistol. Everyone seems to forget that, including myself. Got this nice Magnum here. Which that has unlimited ammo, by the way. Don't forget that if you're ever out and need to reload. But, and another good thing was the AI. Even in this little, I don't know if you even want to call it dungeon. I know it's not a medieval fantasy. But the AI was good. They're not stupid. They're trying to flank you, get behind you. And by the way, the melee guys, the ones that run around with the ball bats, man, those guys are very good at getting behind you and you not realizing they're there. And then all of a sudden they're batting you in the back of the head. But and the voice chat was actually very, very crisp when I could use it, and that was the downfall of it, which I understand. This is beta, so there's going to be some crap. It's a little iffy, but one of the things I found when I was in, like, let's say PSN chat with some buddies of mine, and then I would try to go into the voice chat because let's say another group member joined and we wanted to talk to him. It would not let me go into voice chat and use them. So it was real iffy on if it would or not. Like my buddy, he'd be able to go in and talk, but I wouldn't. But the voice chat is once that gets worked out, the voice tab is very crisp. I mean, you can hear everything. Let me see here. Some of the bugs that we had found, and this, especially in the dark zone, well, only in the dark zone, it was very cheap. It was something we used just because it was so effective, but it was so cheap, man. Like, I would go up with my pistol, all right, and I'd shoot one. I'd take one shot at him, And of course, you know, you get shot, you're gonna retaliate. So they would unload on me after I shot them, which would actually mark them rogue instead of me. For some reason, when you just fire one shot, I don't know if it's like a warning shot or something, but it won't mark you rogue. So if you get someone that doesn't know that, you shoot one shot, they're gonna unload on you, they're going rogue and they're screwed. And in my opinion, I think that's something that needs fixed. I mean, it can be abused too much. I mean, we sat there and watched the guys that, let's say, like for example, they would just trickle you down. You know, they would shoot one or two shots, sit there, go away for a few seconds, take another few shots, and just dwindle your health until you're half dead, you know, if you're not paying attention, and then they'll just bombard you. So, you know, that's kind of an exploit that does need fixed, definitely. One of the other things I'd really like to see is more of the buildings opened up, especially in the dark zone. You know, there's not very many buildings you can go into, just a lot of alleys and streets. You know, I'd like to see some buildings opened up to set up some ambush spots, or even, you know, to be ambushed. You know, it just puts you on edge, and that adds that much more of a fun factor into the PvP elements of it. I know in the PvP at sometimes, like I understand this is a beta, but you know, there are instances, so there's only a certain amount of people allowed in. And I do believe we were in a max instance at one time, because I think we had 20 to 24 guys fighting, and if I remember correctly, don't you might want to fact check me here, but when I watched Angry Joe's video, I believe that dev did say there was 24 people within an instance, and I do believe I was in a max instance at one point or other during the weekend, and it did feel hard to find people. You know, it really did. But when people found each other, man, they just went right at it and went right back to each other when the other got killed. You know, they wanted that revenge. But you know, I don't know, if it's possible, I would like to see more people in the dark zone instances. That way, you know, you could run into one another more often, get some more interesting situations going on. And one of the funnest things we had happen, we did one of those setups where, you know, we chucked the 4 grenades at the same time, and man, we got manhunt status, and that was actually kind of cool. It was like 5 minutes we had to survive, but if we survived that 5 minutes, which I know I did, we were down underneath the subway there trying to hold out. I got 777 currency for the dark zone for holding out that long, man. It was pretty sweet, pretty sweet. And even, you know, even in the PvE areas like we're at right now, I kind of found that there's not a lot of enemies, you know, and like maybe just because this is the beginner zone, you know, they didn't load it up as much. That way, where everyone's still learning the game and getting their gear, you know, hopefully later on down the road in the higher levels, the density of all the mobs gets higher. But overall, guys, I mean, I would highly recommend this game. And I know there's been mixed reviews about it, but for what it is, oh my goodness, guys, I highly recommend it. I really do. Anyway, that's really about all I have. There might have been a few things I missed. Either way, it just gets the general concept out there. Hope you guys enjoyed. You take care, and you have a good weekend.